Check it. All right, what up, y'all? You are back for another video with Data Zero. In this video, we're looking at AMC and GME, our two favorite meme stocks. We're going to look at the psychology, fundamentals, and technicals for these stocks. I'm going through everything I have basically in a fast mode, showing you guys why we are closer to the end than the beginning of this thing. People are actually capitulating and selling. I know people personally that have been holding for a year, 0.5, that are selling. So guys, only the most hardened, most true believers focused on the data, the facts, and the fundamentals and the psychology of this thing are gonna make it to the Moass. And we are close to the end. You can tell because people are actually capitulating and selling. So not financial advice. Let's just hop in the charts, facts, the data, and see what we have going on. All right, guys, what is up? You are back for another video with Data Zero. In this video, we're going to look at our AMC and GME, our two favorite meme stocks. We're going to look at them on the short and long term. We're also going to look at the fundamentals and psychology for these stocks, explaining why I do think they are going to squeeze and how close we are to seeing this move. So we're going to look at the technicals, we're going to look at fractals, we're going to look at psychology, fundamentals, and more in this video. So let's go ahead and hop into charts and see what is going on. So briefly, I'm going to go through the psychology of both these stocks. I think GME is going to be the one moving to the upside. First, GME is breaking out of this overall macro sloping resistance. We need to see it break above and retest it, as you guys can see here marked in red. Anytime I say break above, I mean break above. Then you want to make sure the confirmation test, so you retest it as support and then moving to the upside, or else you might get caught in a bull trap / false break. Now, GME looks like it's setting up for this move this week. The two things that I want to see happen to confirm this movement to the upside is see GME break above this overall sloping macro resistance that has been macro resistance for over 2 years. Each and every rally has been thwarted by this resistance. Once we break above it, is going to be absolute madness for GME. The thing I want to see for AMC, I want to see AMC get up to about $5.50, move to $5.50, then start to accumulate around that range before pushing to the upside. We're going to get into that in a second, but the fractal is calling for that movement. The bars pattern is calling for that movement, seeing us push up to that $5.50 region, consolidating in that area, and then push to the upside. So we will get that to that in a second. But let's go ahead and continue to look at GME now. Again, the psychology of this stock is showing where we are at with things. You've had this euphoria rally. Let's go ahead and pull up the psychology chart. But as you guys can see, the market cycles have a very specific psychology to them. And by following this channel, getting ahead of the crowd, this is how you can make the most money, by keeping yourself focused on the data and the technicals and the psychology, understanding it, and then using it to your advantage. Now, you always want to buy at the point of maximum opportunity for making money. That is at the bottom. So when people are fearful, that is the time for you to be greedy here at these bottoms. Now you can see that GME already had this euphoria rally, then dumped to the downside, and then had this upwards consolidation. That is your complacency stage. As you guys can see right here is your complacency stage. You move to the upside, then you dump down, then you have that upwards consolidation, then you dump down into anger and depression. As you guys can see, this is your anger and your depression. You always want to look for a lower low for those two things. This is your anger bottom, this is your depression bottom. Now GME is moving up into the disbelief rally, as you guys can see. And then what next is hope, optimism, belief, thrill, and euphoria. This is when all the normies start to get in, and that's when you already want to have your position. You want to build your position down here. That way you can make the most money, not building it up here at the top when you can lose the most money. So you have to do the opposite of the crowd, the opposite of the normies. And by following this channel and understanding the psychology, you can do that. AMC also, same thing. We had this euphoria rally up here. Then this is the complacency when you drop down and have that upward sideways chop, this bear flag consolidation type chop. Then we drop down into anger and depression. Now we are starting our recovery phase, going into the disbelief rally and starting to move to the upside. Again, this is the beginning of the bull market. It's going to be choppy. It's going to be sideways. It's going to be very, very boring. It's not going to seem like a bull market. This is the very, very beginning, but it's still the time when you want to be going in and building your position, not financial advice. Also, if we can look at AMC's fear, it is at 39. When people are fearful, it is time to be greedy. Now is the time to buy historical historically based off the fear and greed chart, building your position, and we are about to move to the upside. That is just based off of the technical or the psychology alone. Now, if you look at the fundamentals for these two companies, they are both breaking out. They're both finding new ways to make money. They're both selling new products and beating on earnings. So again, the fundamentals of these companies are improving. They are fundamentally undervalued, which means you are buying them for cheaper than they are actually worth. This is a good investment based off of the fundamentals alone, destroying the short thesis because these companies are clearly not dying. They're surviving. They're getting stronger. They're getting better. They're beating earnings, going cash flow positive. Many, many reasons why these are good investments fundamentally. Now, third thing, again, and I preach this all the time, guys, psychology, fundamentals, technicals. These three things will keep you grounded, focused, and realize what's going on and keep you ahead of the herd. Ignore all the news, ignore all the FUD, ignore the court date, ignore everything that can shake your conviction, and just stay focused on the data. Now, guys, as you can see, and I know people are actually capitulating and selling. Like, I know someone who's actually held for a year, 2 years, and sold. So yes, people are selling and capitulating. That is telling me everything we need to know about this play. Now, if we look at the technicals, going back to the fundamentals, technicals, and psychology of things, as you guys can see, both of these stocks are breaking out of massive falling wedges. You guys already know about falling wedges. We talk about this a lot on my channel because we follow the technicals. And as you guys can see, both of these stocks are breaking out of massive falling wedges. Those are bullish continuation patterns, which means you have an uptrend, then you have your falling wedge, which is a downtrend, and then moving to the upside. Again, the macro plays out. When in doubt, zoom out. You just have to wait and wait and wait, because these everyday movements are meant to shake you out, meant to make your conviction drain. They're meant to wear you out, confuse you, psych you up, and make emotional movements when you need to stay focused on the data, the macro, the psychology, and the fundamentals. Now, as you guys can see, both stocks are breaking out of a massive falling wedge. GME is working on breaking out of the falling wedge right now. AMC has already broken above it. Each time it hits resistance on this, it has been slumped down, and now we have no resistance over our head. We're breaking out of this falling wedge. Bullish continuation pattern. You have an uptrend, then you have your falling wedge, and then you have another uptrend. This is the bottom right here. It was $1 before. Now it's going to be a higher bottom, and then it's going to be a higher high. That is very important for the fundamental or the technicals of a falling wedge. You have your high, then you get a higher high. Okay, so you have your high right here, then you're gonna get another high. You take your low from your high to get your breakout target from your falling wedge, and that will give you an idea of how high you can go just based off the technicals alone. This doesn't even count FOMO or anything else, shorts covering, anything like that. So AMC can go much, much higher, but as you guys can see, just off technicals alone, the breakout target for the falling wedge is over $47. You can do the same thing for GME. GME is meant to hit about 120. I have it marked there in the gold, as you guys can see, but let's go do the same thing for GME, as you guys can see, and it is about $140 that I am expecting for GME. Over that, when shorts cover and FOMO kicks in, all that stuff is going to push it much higher, but those are two basic price targets based off of the technical analysis alone. So again, both of these stocks in a massive falling wedge, bullish continuation pattern. Again, lower. This is your high, so we're going to have a lower high, and we're going to have a higher high. That's how it's working for GME as well. You can see the low here, and then you can see the low here, and it's going to move up and go into another bull rally. Again, this is all very, very clear and very, very easy to understand once you look at it from a clear mindset and clear perspective. Now, also something I want to point out for GME that makes it very, very prone to huge movements is 60% of the flow is locked up in computer share. Now, if you take the shares that the shorts use as well, this stock has a much lower float as AMC. So if you add all that together, this stock is prone to very, very volatile movements very, very quickly. Liquidity is drying up for these two stocks. These stocks are about to run. If you look at the volume for AMC, so if we go ahead and look at the volume here, let's go ahead and put on the daily time frame and look at the volume. Volume's in an overall downtrend. As you guys can see, volume is right here on the screen. Volume is in an overall downtrend for these stocks. We can go ahead and look at it on market trading view as well. Volume is in a downtrend. Liquidity is drying up. Sellers are getting exhausted. We're going to see a push to the upside. We're going to see a massive short squeeze. Also, something that else is indicating a massive short squeeze is being near 52-week lows. AMC is near 52-week lows. Bollinger Bands constricting, green weekly MACD. All of these things are lining up. Last time we had these things as well. We had this run up here and this run up here. Also, volume dropping off a cliff, showing you that sellers are getting exhausted, and all of these things are signs of a short squeeze. Again, it is coming. Is it just going to be tomorrow? Is it going to be next week? Is it going to be a month from now? I do think we are much closer to the end than the beginning, and it is coming. It's just how many more days, how many more weeks until it happens. Now, if we go ahead and look at the macro, you guys can see that we are working on a bullish MACD cross on the monthly time frame. Again, more indication that we're going to a massive bull run. So a run like this, as you guys can see, we had two mini short squeezes. I do think we're going to see several short squeezes running up to the upside, possibly two like we had before, but I do think we're going to see massive price action to the upside. And again, we're going in a new bull run, bull trend. This is just the beginning of that, and we are starting that right now, as you guys can see. Very, very clear once you zoom out. When in doubt, zoom out. So this is what I'm looking at basically based on the technicals and fundamentals. You guys can see that a short squeeze is coming. Fundamentals improving for the company, destroying the short thesis. Bollinger Bands, technicals, falling wedge, all of these things, technicals showing that a massive bull run is coming, and psychology as well showing a massive bull run is coming. Let's go ahead and hop into the AMC fractals / bars pattern to show you guys where I think we're at on that as well. So I'm going to run through this whole thing real quickly. This is the 2020 run up, and this is the 2020 run up. As you guys can see, this is the 2020 run up right here. This is the 2021 run up. Each time we run up, we have the same type of price action. We have a 3-peak top. We drop to a new low. Then we have this sideways bull or falling wedge consolidation before dumping down and then pushing to the upside. That is 2021. Here's 2020. 3-peak top, drop to a new low, then we pump to the upside. We have that falling wedge consolidation and then pump to the upside. Now let's look at what AMC is doing right now. We have the 3-peak top, drop down to a new low in the falling wedge right now, as you guys can see, and we are about to pump to the upside based off the bars pattern, and I do think that is coming into play. It just is how many days from now is that going to happen. So let's go ahead and hop into the charts and see what we're looking at based off of that. Now, I do think this could happen possibly Tuesday or later this week, but I do want to see AMC break above this $4.70 sloping resistance. We need to see that happen for AMC to start the recovery process. Now, based off the bars pattern, I think it's going to happen on Tuesday, but if not, if we get rejected, I want everyone to be aware of what's happening, and that's why I said we have a potential for more downside into the later end of this week in my last video. As you guys can see, we need to break above this overall sloping resistance of the falling wedge to get this recovery started. Once the recovery starts, that is how we know it is officially on. I want to see AMC break above and go to that $5.50 level, confirming that the squeeze is happening right now. I also want to see GME break above that sloping macro resistance, again, confirming that the Moass and squeeze is starting right now. Those are two things that I'm looking for to confirm that this is happening based off the bars pattern and the technicals. Now, the bars pattern is showing us doing this possibly here on Tuesday, and it does look like it's very promising for that to happen, but I want everyone to be aware that we could have more downside. We already have this green recovery started in the after hours, but what we need to do, again, is break above $4.70, use it as support, confirming that, and then start moving up quickly to that $5.50 region, consolidate down a little bit, and then push to the upside. If that doesn't happen on Tuesday, we'll see a rejection. So this is the bullish phase right here. This is the bearish phase. Again, both of them are still very bullish in my opinion, as we are going in an overall uptrend, and then we will be retesting the $6.20 local high. But as you guys can see, if we don't, we're going to get rejected, pushed down into the later end of the week, then move to the upside, and then start pushing to that 550, and then pushing past this local high of $6.20. So this is your bullish scenario. This is your bearish scenario. I do think one of these two things is going to happen. I do think we are going to see a recovery. It's just, is it going to be Tuesday or is it going to be later into the week? Again, pushing this thing a couple weeks down the road. Pushing the Moass just a couple weeks down the road before we see this absolutely start to rip. Now, I'm still very excited. I still think all of these things are happening. It's just, when is it going to happen? Is it going to happen a couple of days from now? Is it going to happen a week from now? Is it going to happen 2 weeks from now? But I will be tracking it day by day, letting you guys know what is going on. I do think we could potentially see more downside if we don't see that recovery. Again, we need to break above this micro falling wedge before we see us retest this high of $6.20. But all the same things apply here. Bullish continuation pattern. So you're going to have your falling wedge, your uptrend, then you're going to have your falling wedge, and then have a higher high. This is very, very bullish. It's just showing you that we're breaking out of this macro falling wedge as well, because we are pushing to the upside. Now we're consolidating in this micro falling wedge, which is telling me that we're going to see a uptrend marked here in blue, and then breaking out of this macro falling wedge in a uptrend, what we are wanting to see going into that next bull rally and moving to the upside. So guys, this is everything I have for you on AMC. Let's go ahead and look at GME, then look at the fundamental data and wrap up this video. So GME, again, what I want to see is us push above the sloping macro resistance. You're going to have to watch the channel because the sloping macro resistance keeps changing because it keeps going down. Possible scenarios for GME is basically it's going to consolidate. It's going to consolidate for the next couple of days. I want to see it push above that sloping resistance. Now, this could happen very, very soon, because if you look at the Bollinger Bands, they are constricting on the 2-hour and the 4-hour time frame. I think it's going to take till Wednesday of this consolidation around this $23 mark. But if we see GME start to push up and it breaks above $4, $24.40, $24.15 later down in the week, that's when it's on and popping for GME. And again, when I say break above, we want to see it push to the upside, then use it as support, confirmation it. That way we know it has confirmation and it won't be a false break to the upside, coming back inside the wedge and then breaking down. Now, again, the same thing I said earlier, I want to see GME break above this overall sloping macro resistance to know that the squeeze is on and popping. I also want to see AMC push back up to $5.50 to know that the squeeze is on and popping. These two things have to happen before we run to the upside. So these are two basic ways to know confirmation of what exactly is going on. So if we see that on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you guys know what is going on when we see those things happen. And I will be dropping updates on my shorts videos and videos each and every day this week, so stay tuned for those videos. Let's go ahead and look at the fundamental data for these two stocks and then wrap up the video. So max pain for this week for AMC is at $5, again showing that we'll probably have a green week and start that recovery process, start moving to the upside. You can see that people are fearful on AMC. Again, historic time to buy AMC, not financial advice. If we go ahead and look at AMC's shares available to borrow, it does have about 500,000 shares available to borrow at this current time and moment. Failure to delivers are racking up. Each and every time we see failure to delivers rack up, we see price start to move to the upside. I want to point that out. As you guys can see, failure to delivers start piling up here, we see price move to the upside. Failure to delivers start piling up here, we see price move to the upside. Look what's happening right now. Failure to delivers pricing piling up at massive levels that we have never seen before. Again, fundamental data showing that we're going to see a massive short squeeze that we have not seen yet. Short interest also very, very high as well, 21.51%. So that is showing that we have plenty of short interest for a massive short squeeze movement to the upside. And again, shares available to borrow sitting at 500,000 shares available to borrow. Again, this could change by the morning. You can check Stonko Tractor or Fidelity to get that information, but it doesn't look like they have very many shares available to borrow, and they have been having a hard time getting shares available to short. So guys, this is everything I have for you. Hopefully you found the video informative. If you did, go ahead and drop a like, subscribe for more content like this, and remember, you can check me out on Twitter and Discord for even more data or updates. Also, if you find this information useful, consider becoming a member. You can cancel at any time. It's only $2.99 a month. You also get exclusive access, early access to my videos, exclusive modes that you can use, and you get validation as a member on this channel. So consider becoming a member if you find this information useful. Again, $2.99. You can cancel at any time. Guys, that was the video. Stay ahead of the herd. Stay smart. Stay focused on the data. Do not get emotional. People are really selling. They are really capitulating. There's too much fear going on. You have YouTubers bombarding you with everything. And another thing I'm telling you guys is you should only focus on 1 or 2 YouTubers, not financial advice, not personal advice. But there's too many people with too many different agendas and too many different things. Guys, I'm not even telling you to follow me, but I would just stick to 1 or 2 influencers, because these people all have agendas and they all have personalities, egos, and just it's not good for you to get all of these different types of bombardments and not focusing on just the data. So that is my little rant for the end of the video. I appreciate each and every one of you. Subscribe, like, and as always, have fun, stay safe, make money. Peace out.
All right, y'all, that was the video. If you found it informative, go ahead and drop a like, subscribe for more content like this. And remember, you can check me out on Twitter and Discord for even more Data Zero updates. Also, you become a member of my channel to support me if you would like to do so. But you can also support me for free by simply pressing like, subscribing, and dropping a comment. I truly appreciate each and every one of you that do so. Also, you can become a member for $2.99 a month and cancel at any time. Exclusive access to my Igimos, videos, and me as well for that $2.99 a month. Guys, as always, have fun, stay safe, make money. Peace out.